Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras, in the state that is more and more becoming known as California. But as we all know, I don't do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most from the co-host with the most here on, what is it? It's Feedback Friday. Feedback Friday here on the Rundown.
Feedback
It's a great day to
Friday.
be with you. Yeah, Feedback Friday.
How's everybody doing today? How you doing today, Mike?
Not too shabby. You know what we did last night, Craig? I know it was Thirsty Thursday yesterday for dinner, but after I got off the show, went inside and we had tacos again.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
All good.
Well, I have my weekend has yet to begin. Even today, after we get off the program today, I've still got more work for a client. They've got a big conference coming up this weekend, and I'm setting up the live stream and all of that stuff for them. And so I will be working again this evening on a Friday night. It is sacrilegious. It really is. It is just not right. But the hostage situation continues.
Yeah, listen, it's tough, Craig. I've got some work scheduled for after this. I'm off to do a promotion with a cigar manufacturer and whiskey distiller, so it's going to be tough.
You are so oppressed. That's hard work. But I'm jealous. Okay, let me just say it. I'm jealous.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll see if we bring back some samples and I can share them on the air with you, or at least show them to you.
Yeah, thank you, but doesn't do me any good. Tell you what, pop them in the mail. Send maybe FedEx them, UPS them, and then we will enjoy on Monday. Because guess what, folks? Monday is going to be our 400th episode. It's going to be epic.
It's going to be huge.
Right. So today we're going to party like it's 399.
Like it's 399. I'm going to have to go find my little red Corvette again.
What'd you say again?
I'm going to have to go find my little red Corvette again.
Oh, there you go. That'll be interesting.
My little red Corvette and my raspberry beret.
Your raspberry, you would wear a raspberry beret, wouldn't you?
For Prince, or the artist formerly known as Prince again? Yep, sure would.
Yeah. Now he's kind of known as the dude who died of ketamine.
I want to play basketball with him.
Okay. Took me a minute to get that one because he's only like, what, 4'11"? Little Prince.
The Charlie Murphy true Hollywood story of him and his group of guys playing basketball with Prince.
All right. On that note, why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors?
Let's say hello to our good friends over at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net, hitmanindustries.net. You got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, probably got one of their barrels, don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them direct for your next AR build, or replace the barrel in your current rifle, or make yourself a new upper so you have another upper for your rifle. That's hitmanindustries.net. Let's see, the California Republican Assembly is fighting a good fight behind enemy lines there. You saw what good work they did, and the votes continue in California. So make sure you support the California Republican Assembly. If you want some awesome tactical gear, some great tactical gear, field gear kind of stuff, go to uscombatgear.com. And here's the special, right? Running this special all week long. If you want to get yourself a holster, a nice, concealable holster, great retention, perfectly fit, not some generic one made. Each one of these is handmade by the veteran owned and operated, John there at Hog Holsters, HAWG holsters.com, HAWG holsters.com. That's HAWG, helping Americans wear guns, and give them the discount code, The Rundown, all caps, all one word, The Rundown, and get yourself an awesome holster.
Get yourself a Hog holster today. Trust me, check it out. They are phenomenal holsters. Yeah, sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, these are our sponsors. Look, they bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. So do us a favor. Do them a favor. Do yourself a favor. Follow the links in the description of this program. You can check out their websites. I know you'll like what you see. Spend some money with them, and make sure to tell them that the guys over at the Rundown sent you.
That's
Also, want to
us.
encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Let your friends know the Rundown. This is the place. This is the place to have these sorts of conversations, to have a good time talking about politics, talking about guns and all that fun stuff. So make sure you're letting your friends know about the program.
That's it. Right here. Watch us right here.
Rocher, Rocher, Rocher. Okay, let's go ahead and get into today's news stories. Nancy Pelosi from the great state, or maybe not so great state, from the state of California, from San Francisco, Cisco, has decided that she is no longer going to be the leader of the Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives. As you may recall from yesterday, Republicans have taken over the House. Kevin McCarthy, also from California, will now be the new Speaker of the House. And Nancy Pelosi has decided that she is no longer going to be the leader, which she decided. I don't think she decided it. I think they pretty much decided, Nancy, your time is up. You're 82 years old. It's time for you to go. And so it's now basically she is stepping down. Her and her entire leadership team will be stepping down after 20 years. Now, mind you, she has been a Democrat leader for 20 years. And while I am not a fan of Nancy Pelosi's, I'm not a fan of her politics at all, I have to say that she has been successful in doing exactly what it was that she wanted to do, and that the House is definitely more left leaning than it was when she got there. The entire Democratic Party, in fact, is more left leaning than it was when she got there.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, like you said, she's been the party leadership for 20 years now. She's been up there in Congress for, what is it, 35 years, right? Since
Yeah.
87, I believe it was when
And
she
by the
got
way, she's
elected.
not leaving Congress. She's just
No.
not going to be a leader anymore.
She has said that this is her last term, though. She's not going to seek reelection after this. So this is her last term this next 2 years. Um, Craig, yeah, you listen, she succeeded with what she said she was going to do. And, all she did was help divide the country, right? It's not a big deal. But it's time to go. I actually, Craig, I think I'd be surprised if she finishes this 2 year term. I think, at this point, she resigns somewhere into it. And that gives, Mussolini, El Duce there the opportunity to appoint another person into that office, because that's how Nancy Pelosi got it also when she took office the first time. Because remember, it's harder to beat an incumbent. So put your own person in there and let them be the front runner. So yeah, I think listen, we know she's been kind of not there. We see her on committees and on hearings, and she'll give one answer, and then her handlers will whisper in her ear and give an opposite answer. She hasn't been in charge of her own agenda or policy or decision making in quite a long time. And I think now that she's no longer the focus, the party that's handling her there will move away from her, and she'll realize that she's got no purpose being there. So I think she ends up resigning some point during her term.
Well, one of the reasons why she largely she remained leader was because she had the most ability to raise money of anybody. It was the connections. And so the question is going to be, who is going to be able to replace that? I just don't see. I don't see anybody else. There's a gentleman, I believe his name is Hakeem Jeffries, I think is going to be the new no, God, it's not Hakeem Jeffries. Anyway, maybe it is Jeffries. Anyway, it's going to be, from what I understand, the first African American speaker or minority leader, or leader of the House. It
Oh, okay.
depends. If she steps down like right away, then he'll be speaker for about a month.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, he will be minority leader. Okay, how about that? How are you gonna make the black guy the minority leader? What's up with that?
Oh, damn. Damn.
That all of a sudden, literally, folks, on air, that just hit me. Okay, so in other words, now that you're no longer in the majority, the white lady steps down, and the black guy becomes the leader.
Yeah, it is Hakeem Jeffries. They're looking at, and Catherine Clark, Massachusetts, and Peter Aguilar of California are the ones that I guess are going to be looking to step into her minority leader role.
Yeah, I believe it's going to wind up being. Pete Aguilar, I don't know that well. I think it's going to wind up being Hakeem Jeffries, who is going to have a very hard time keeping that caucus together. Because the challenge that the Democrats are going to face now is the wokedivists versus the traditional Democrats. And don't get me wrong, traditional Democrats have always been bad, but they're not nearly as bad as the wokedivists.
Yeah.
But right now, what you've got is you've got the tail wagging the dog in the Democratic Party, and Hakeem Jeffries is one of those wokedivists.
Yep, yep. There you go. That's it's another great product of the fine state of California.
Yeah. Well, no, Hakeem Jeffries is from New York.
Is he?
Yes.
No, I thought you were talking about Pete Aguilar. I'm sorry.
Oh, Pete Aguilar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, Pete Aguilar. Once again, I don't know him very well, so we shall see. I have a feeling we're going to get to know some of these folks a lot better in the coming months.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Another interesting story coming out of Texas, and I will say this: it is nice to see that Abbott is, even though the election is over, he has not backing down from his conservative positions. I have to admit, I was a little concerned when that after the election, he was going to go back to being a middle of the road milk toast Republican. But so far, that does not appear to be the case. In fact, he actually sent a letter to Joe Biden, basically saying that he is invoking the invasion clause of the Constitution because of border failures. In essence, what his issue is, and I think we all recognize this. Right now, we have a southern border let me clarify. We don't have a southern border. We have an area where people are just walking across, just coming in, and we have no way, or no one's doing anything to stop it. No one's doing anything to slow it down. Mayorkas, when he was questioned about it, had the nerve to get indignant when he was asked about, well, look, what are you going to do about the border? And he said, well, our southern border is secure. The dude is if he's not an idiot, he is, at very least, he is an arrogant idiot, and a liar, or a liar, arrogant liar. Anyway, but right now it looks like there is going to be a battle of brewing between Texas and the U.S. government and the Biden administration. Mike, I'm real curious because what exactly it is now that Abbott is going to be able to do if he is now operating under the quote unquote invasion clause of the Constitution.
Well, again, it's the invasion clause of both the U.S. and Texas Constitution has it in there. It's to combat ongoing, overwhelming illegal immigration. He said that it will give him under the clause, the activation of the National Guard and the Texas Department of Public Safety personnel to safeguard the border and turn back would-be migrants from illegally crossing the border, which means, Craig, he does not have to rely on the Border Patrol, who just had their leader resign under pressure. And so Governor Abbott's going to take the lead on the border of Texas to ensure Texas stays secure.
So right now, I guess because what is it, Provision 42 or Rule 42, whatever it's called, is now no longer. They're not going to be able to utilize that to turn people away and tell them, no, you cannot come into the country. And the Biden administration isn't going to do anything. I don't understand why you needed a rule to tell people that they can't come into the country illegally. You just tell them they can't come into the country illegally.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
How about that whole thing? We have a border.
You know where your vehicles
right.
are?
It's like creating a law that says we need to enforce the law.
Right. It is illegal. It is illegal to enforce the law. Here's a law, and this law says it is now legal to enforce the law.
Yep.
Yeah.
He also went on to state that under the Texas clause, he's going to be able to arrest people and return them to the border. He won't have to turn them over to the feds and let them do what they want. So if they catch them, they get to send them back. He's also going to be putting gunboats in the river down there to designate to the Mexican cartels that this is a foreign border and you are a foreign terrorist organization.
Right, folks, and this is why this is important to understand, is that there are not just simply innocent people who are trying to flee oppression and trying to get a better life in the United States. Uh, Many, not all, and I will not even say most of the people. I'm saying a lot of the crossings that are taking place are people who are bringing in fentanyl. They're drug cartels. A lot of these people are actually being smuggled in by these cartels that are making millions, if not billions, of dollars. Once again, smuggling in drugs. And so it is literally almost a war on those on our southern border.
Yeah, and like you said, Craig, it's art of the U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, and it says the U.S. shall guarantee every state in the Union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. So the governor has said, listen, you're not going to do this, and under the Texas Constitution, we are.
Well, and what I think he needs to then do at the same time is sue the federal government and get their money back.
Yep. Under the Texas Constitution, Article 4, Section 7 states that the governor, as commander in chief of his military forces, shall have the power to call forth the militia, to execute the laws of the state, to suppress insurrections, and to repel invasions. There you go.
There you go. And I don't see how you can look at what is going on in our southern border and not refer to it as an invasion, because that's exactly what it is.
Oh, it's clearly an invasion. Yeah, clearly an invasion. And the governor down there said, enough is enough. Here we go. And when he
Right.
says militia, folks, he's talking about. Remember, you got two kinds of militia. You got the regular militia and the irregular militia. And this is still in U.S. code. Regular
Right.
militia being your reserve forces, like your National Guard or your State Guard, and then irregulars are those that are not normally in uniform. And it actually says any able-bodied person over the age of 17, able-bodied man over the age of 17.
That means man, like man or trans man.
Like man, like born with the twigs and berries.
Okay, got it. Just checking, man. I know
Yeah,
it's Texas. I shouldn't have to ask.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Here's another one. So at the same time, at the very time that those on the left, the folks in Washington D.C., are doing their best to restrict the rights of law-abiding citizens to be able to possess firearms, in Washington D.C., they are actually seeking to do the exact opposite when it comes to criminals. Right now, Washington D.C. is set to lower the penalties for carrying a firearm without a permit, as well for in particular for felon in possession. Now, mind you, Mike, I don't mind not having a huge penalty for carrying without a permit. So if you're a law-abiding citizen, you're carrying and you get caught. Yes, okay, you don't have a permit. If it's against the law to carry without a permit, you should have to deal with it. Though it shouldn't be crazy, but the idea of lowering the fees or lowering the penalties for being a felon in possession of a firearm, I don't get that.
Yeah, these two should be going in the opposite direction, Craig. Where we have, they have the penalties for carrying a firearm without a permit. Listen, in 25 states now, that's legal. So we're going to be penalizing people for something that's legal in half the country. So I agree with you there wholeheartedly. But on the flip side, the possession of a felon with a firearm, they're lowering that where they should be increasing that. Come on. What about all these crazy moms against drugs and every town for nonsense? Let's this is what you want. You want to stop violence with guns. How about you have less criminals carrying guns, less felons carrying guns, and the way you do that is increasing the penalties, not decreasing them.
Yeah, they're making where they live, they're making it more dangerous, and then they're making it harder for people to be able to defend themselves from the very criminals that they are once again releasing on the streets. I'm sorry, if you're a felon in possession of a firearm, the penalty should be stiff. That's just my
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah, I know. I agree completely. That should be one of the minimum sentencing guidelines. Felon with a firearm, bye bye. Have a good
Right.
one. See you later.
All right, let's get on. Let's talk about Woktivist. And talked about Woktivist. It's now by the way, we are now in. I don't know. We are officially in the holiday season. I've kind of given up on the idea that we can't talk about Christmas until after Thanksgiving, simply because you can't walk into a grocery store or anything like that without the Christmas stuff smacking you right in the face. But in this particular case, we've got a story about Santa Claus, and specifically, I'm talking about Tim Allen. Tim Allen, who played Santa Claus in the Santa Claus movies, he is actually reprising that role in a new series that he's doing there for Disney. And one of the things he talked about in that, one of the lines that he had in that was basically where he said, that saying Christmas has now become problematic. And needless to say, the Woktivists have lost their minds attacking him on Twitter for basically making such a comment. Now, Mike, there has always been, and I know people get mad. People get mad when you say this. They say there's no such thing, but there has been a war on Christmas for quite a while now.
Oh yeah, come on, listen. We have to go back to the whole Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas thing. And Craig, like you, I believe that the Christmas season should not start officially until after Thanksgiving. I'll say Black Friday. I used to say the Monday after, but I'll say Black Friday is when you can start, celebrating Christmas and putting up Christmas decorations. Remember, if you put your Christmas decorations up before that, every time you do that, Santa beats an elf. So just know
Santa beats an elf. Well, I can tell you right now, just driving down my street, there's a whole lot of elves getting beat because some people had their Christmas lights up like right after Halloween.
Yeah. Well, I usually do my Christmas lights in August, but by do them, I mean I take them down.
Oh. Anyway. I don't know. So what do you think about these woke attacks on Santa Claus?
Come on. Listen, it's time to start filling these rooms with uppercuts. Okay, these are ridiculous people out there that are making something out of nothing, right? Oh, Santa's wearing a red hat. He must be MAGA. What? Oh, come on. It's Santa Claus. He's a listen. When he came to this country on the Mayflower, he set forth his vision on Christmas, and these people are going crazy now, trying to say that Santa Claus is the picture of conservatism. No, what he's the picture of? He's a picture of peace and understanding, and everybody wants to get that wrong. All they want to do is find another reason to attach something to the conservative side of the house and blame it for all their woes.
Yeah, if Santa Claus is the epitome of conservatism, I'm okay with that. The idea of rewarding people who do right and punishing those who do wrong, yeah, I'm okay with that. The idea of being productive, yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
Yep, yeah, absolutely right. Now remember, if you've got one of them like Alexas or them Google Dots or whatever it is, you've helped Santa watch you, so he's watching you even better now.
Oh yes, those things definitely. Oh, your cell phone. Look, they are recording you. Yeah. Just so you know. That's why I've given up. I'm like, fine, record me. Although I don't use the Alexa or the Dot, or I don't use those home smart devices. The only closest thing I have at home that I use that's smart is my wife. She's smart.
Good for you. She must be watching today. Folks, I guarantee you, after today's program, if your cell phone's in distance of our voices right now, that after today's program, when you pick up your phone, you're going to have some of this Christmas ad nonsense or Christmas stories going to pop up in your feed. It's just the way it works now.
That is definitely the way it works. Yeah. All right, let's move along to our parting shots today. Got some fun stuff for you. This first one. As you know, Elon Musk has laid down the law over there at Twitter. He's made it very clear. Look, folks, if you're either here to work or you're not. You're either coming in to work or you're fired. You're either, you're paying for your own lunch. We're not doing this anymore for you. And there are some people. I'm sorry.
No free rides.
No free rides. And there are some people who are like, why is Elon Musk even bothering with a lot of this detail stuff? And the funny part is like, no, he's really not. This is a scene from oh, this isn't Infinity
Avengers.
Wars. It's the last
Avengers.
Endgame from
Yeah. Yeah. Avengers.
Avengers Endgame. There you go, Avengers Endgame. And it's got one of the employees looking there saying, "Fired Twitter employees." That says, "You took everything from me." And then it's got Thanos there looking at them, and he's supposed to be Elon Musk, and he says, "I don't even know who you are." The point being that yeah, a lot of you folks who are so offended, who think that he's coming after you because of who you are, he doesn't even know you. What he knows is that he paid $44 billion for a company that's bleeding money, and yeah, he that ain't happening no more.
That's it. Changes are afoot, And listen, he's a businessman. He's going to run it. Listen, I'm sure he doesn't hate the employees or doesn't care for them, but the way you care for all of your employees is cut the dead weight and reduce costs so those employees can benefit from their jobs when the company benefits.
There you go. There you go. Make some money, man. Make some money, man.
Make money, money, make money, money.
So, Mike, do me a favor. Now, I heard about a story the other day. There's tell me about this missile strike that happened in Poland. I hear something about it, and it had something to do with Ukraine.
So remember, Ukraine, Poland, Russia all come together there over in the eastern part of Russia and eastern part of Europe, and obviously we know that the Russians and Ukrainians are in a war right now. The U.S. has been using, and a lot of NATO forces have been using Poland as a staging ground for sending in equipment. Poland is an active member of the United Nations, NATO, and EU. So they're still unsure. I've read a couple of reports they know, a couple of reports they don't know, a couple of reports on conspiracy theory, stuff like that. Poland fired the shot. Ukraine fired the shot at Poland, so Russia would have to take the blame, and somebody else would maybe attack Russia and take the pressure off of Ukraine. All conjecture at this point. One thing we do know is that from somewhere down in the Ukraine, don't know who it was, whether a Ukrainian force or a Russian force, a missile was inadvertently, we'll call it that still, inadvertently fired at Poland, and Poland received a missile strike or a small rocket strike. So that's currently what we know there.
Okay, so now I do believe though they've actually identified the Ukrainian soldier who was responsible for firing this missile.
Yeah, again, Ukrainian, maybe Russian poses Ukrainian, maybe just a Russian himself, but yeah, it's definitely somebody from within the Ukraine fired a rocket at Poland, and they don't know who until now.
Wait, that guy looks familiar. I know that guy.
Yeah. I didn't fire it. It just went off.
I didn't fire it. It just went off. I did not have my finger. I did not pull the trigger. For those of you who are wondering, who are just listening to the program, it's a picture of Alec Baldwin holding a rocket launcher.
Yep. It looks like a dragon missile. Yep.
All right, and our final parting shot. As you all know, there's another story that's out there about a young lady who got very, very frustrated, and she complained because she is a volleyball player, and a male volleyball player who identifies now as a female went into the girls' locker room, the female locker room, and was walking around. How shall we say? Anyway, was walking around. It hadn't no surgery, no nothing. Just basically walking around as a male in a female locker room, or with male. Let me clarify: with male parts. Yeah,
twigs and berries.
Yeah. Anyway, with twigs and berries, trying to be politically correct. But needless to say, this is a trend, and she wound up getting suspended from school, suspended from the team. Her father, who was the soccer coach, got fired. And anyway, they're suing the school district. But anyway, that is actually a part of, and it's following a story about a gentleman named Rudolph. We all know Rudolph. We've heard about him. We heard about his attempt to enter and compete in the reindeer games. Well, needless to say, things have changed for Rudolph. Rudolph is now changed his name to Rolanda and is dominating the female reindeer games.
Yeah, just cleaning up there. Just cleaning up. Went from ranked like 245th to ranked first now in the female reindeer games. It's horrible.
Exactly. Although now the red nose actually blends in quite well. It's actually considered stylish.
Oh yeah, matches his blush. Yeah.
Think about it. No, but think about that. We grew up in a time where a reindeer with a red nose was something to be, with a glowed, was something to be outraged about. Oh my God. And now we've got, you know, men competing with women in women's sports. And
Remember,
that's not,
Craig?
there's nothing to be outraged about that.
Remember back in school and like your grade school days, and you're on the playground, and you'd be like, "Oh, look, there's something different." And you're like, "Yeah, throw the ball at it." That's how you used to respond to different things. Obviously, as we became mature adults, that doesn't happen anymore. But to say now that everybody gets included, and you get to pretend to be whatever you're not, that's where you cross the ridiculous line.
Well, it's in some cases, first of all, it creates an unfair advantage for those individuals when they compete against, in particular, when you're talking post puberty, you're talking about a serious physical advantage. And anyway, it's just it's not right for women. What did we institute Title IX, quote unquote, for? To allow women to participate in sports and compete against other women because because it was actually that made it fair for them to compete. All of a sudden now we're just saying, yeah, no, forget all that. You can have male parts and compete against women. And in some sports where you're actually putting women in danger, whether it be boxing, whether it be mixed martial arts. You had that one mixed martial artist who fought 3 fights after transit, who fought 3 fights, and the worst part in that case was did not tell their opponent that they used to be a man, and was
absolutely right. Yeah, and don't forget the swimmer, right, who did the
yes,
same thing. And listen, I think you can trace this all back to Andy Kaufman, right? Wasn't he the intergender wrestling champion?
I do believe so. All righty. Well, Mike, it's about that time. We're coming up here at the end of the program. Do us a favor. Give us another shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say have a good weekend to our good friends. Make sure you go out and visit them over at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. You can get any caliber pistol or rifle length barrel for your AR platform. You go over to California Republican Assembly. Make sure you support what they do and all of their good work. If you want some awesome tactical gear and web gear, go to uscombatgear.com. And of course, go get yourself a holster. The holiday season is afoot, going to be here shortly. You might as well start doing some shopping early and go to Hog Holsters, HAWGholsters.com, HAWGholsters.com. Get yourself a good holster and do it with our discount code, The Rundown, all one word, all caps, The Rundown.
Folks, it's that simple. Follow the links in the description to this program and check them out. Spend some money with them. Tell them the guys over at The Rundown sent you. And with that, we will call it a day. In fact, we'll call it a week. We're going to enjoy ourselves this weekend. We're going to be back on Monday for episode number 400. 400. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys will join us. Talk to you later.